From Arizona, Mr. Schweikert is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Secretary, this may sound odd, but I think you actually have one of the most interesting, if not one of the most difficult jobs in the world.
I concur.
But I also am constantly frustrated that we don't take your agency dramatically more seriously. And look, in the President's budget, you have new taxes. The President's budget has new taxes in there for shoring up part of Medicare Part A that equal, what, about 660 billion over a 10-year cycle. If all, and I'm not asking you to play budget with me, I'm just sort of setting up a question. But the math from 2022 basically said Medicare shortfall over 30 years with interest, so this is from 2 years ago, was over $80 trillion. So I'm elated, hey, you're going to talk about shoring up the Medicare Part A trust fund, but remember, the vast majority of Medicare spending is general fund. It turns out your agency, our obligation we made to seniors, is the primary, it's 3/4 of all the borrowing over the next 30 years. You are the epicenter of what in many ways is the greatest threat to our republic, and that's our debt. You know, whether it be my kids or someone's secure retirement. So there's some things that are not meant to be got you, but are there things we could do to help your folks on the innovation side be much more innovative, much more risk-taking, much more forward-viewing? We have a document that was working through your numbers saying 31% of all Medicare spending is diabetic-related. Okay. Could we actually do an all-in approach to stabilize pre-diabetic populations? Is it true that remember, there's a phase 1 that's just begun of a potential cure for diabetes? In a weird way, your agency, break us, or the innovation in your folks save us from a future that's just brutal, debt-wise. And I guess my rambling is more about what can I do, what can we as members do? Because I've gotten some really crappy responses sometimes from your innovation folks saying, we're looking at that, and then we never hear before. What can we do to make them almost techno-utopians, that we gotta push the solution?
So Congressman, let's see if I can give you a 2 or 3 different points, and you can build on them if you like. First, I go back to what I said earlier, because you hit it on the money. Why are we spending so much money on diabetes? Because so many of these cases of diabetes could have been prevented. And so rather than try to cure it, as my mom used to always say to me, mejor prevenir que remediar, better to prevent than to remediate, why not try to prevent it? And that's my whole opening statement was about how moving from an illness care system, which is what you're pointing out is deficient, to a wellness care system.
But what I beg of you is in your opening statement, you didn't actually, you said wellness care, but you didn't say we need to fix nutrition support. The way we do it isn't working. There's actually things we can do to help people manage their blood glucose. You've seen even the discussion, something I can wear on my wrist that may tell me what my blood glucose is. We now have, and I'm going to screw up to GPL-1 inhibitors and the variety of those that are off patent. The fact of the matter that there may be a stem cell therapy coming. If it's the single biggest driver of debt in our country, where's your all-in approach? Where's the maniacal fixation that we're going to take this on? Because it's not partisan, it's not Republican, Democrat, it's moral. And with that, I yield back.
Mr. Blumenauer.